the self-doubt is there to humble you a little bit in your dreams, because we all have these enormous dreams, but the imposter syndrome bit is like what makes us see the next step as opposed to like the big scary goal. Do you feel like you get imposter syndrome at all?
Yeah and no. I'm really confident in what we do, because I feel like I've invested so much time, and still do, in trying to be the best I can be at what I do. But what I do get is the doubt about decisions or a certain direction I'm going sometimes. And I think when I speak to most business owners, like loads of my clients run businesses, and it doesn't matter who I meet, it could be someone who's running a huge company, with 100 million plus turnover, or it could be a one-man band. A lot of them don't really, when I say don't know what they're doing, it's not they don't know what they're doing, it's they're kind of just working their way through.
Winging it.
Winging it, and they're doing it really well.
Yeah.
And really, they obviously know what they're doing, and they're incredibly good at what they do, and they put a lot of work in. And I think that is most business owners, including myself, you're just finding your path, and you will always do it probably a little bit different than someone else, but there is those times where you have that doubt, and you have to really kind of dig deep sometimes. I mean, even this is so funny you said this, because last night, I've come over to the Middle East a few days ago, and I'm just kind of working my way through meetings, familiarising myself, and I had a really bad day, to be honest, yesterday, and I was doubting stuff, and I was questioning stuff, and it's humbling. Like you said earlier, that's the great thing about it. It's like the great equaliser, because you can get carried away, and there was kind of a few things that kind of just got me thinking, and you kind of take a step back and be like, right, is this the right approach? Am I doing this the right way? And I just thought, get an early night, and then the next day just move back on again. Yeah,
and you know what? We were saying before we started recording, like those moments in your life make you so resilient, not just in business, but in everything. I think, everyone makes it seem that running a business online is so easy and it's so glamorous, and like I'm on a beach in Thailand, or I'm in Dubai with my digital nomad life, and like the reality is everything goes wrong every day, and you've just got to fight, because what's the alternative? Like you don't deal with it, and then what? Like you have to deal with it.
People, I think a lot of people don't understand that. If you're a business owner, they think you're your own boss. They think you're having such a great life. But
you work for your employees and your clients. You have two bosses.
Yeah, well, I say this all the time to people. Like you are to a degree your own boss, but you're not. You always have someone you are working for, which for me is my clients, my employees, people, third parties we're kind of associated with. So for me, I never feel like I'm my own boss. No. And there's so many downsides which you take with the benefits of running a business. I always remember before I set this business, I could go home at 5 and shut off a lot more. That never happens now. You just can't, because everything will fall on you. So I think what's really interesting now is there's a lot of popularity, especially on social media, where people are pushing younger people to set up on their own, which is great, I think, to some extent, but also I think what gets missed is the value in being an entrepreneur, being someone who is essentially an entrepreneur within a great business.
And without the risk,
because it doesn't suit everyone. And I think people are trying to get put in this kind of box now where you should go out and set up on your own, and there's a lot of people, obviously loads of people fail, and it's not suitable for them, or they're stressed, or they make less money than what they would if they were in a really good company. And if you find the right company, and you are given the freedom to kind of run certain projects or certain parts of the business as you would like, and implement kind of new ideas, it's extremely overlooked. I mean, there is some huge examples of people. I can't remember the chap who set up Gmail for Google, and I think he's worth like 600-700 million.
As an employee,
and it goes overlooked, stuff like that sometimes. So,
but let's also not forget, like most of the Fortune 100 CEOs and FTSE 500 CEOs are employees.
Yeah.
And they've just risen through the ranks. I love that you brought this up, because I think a lot of people really look at, even probably yourself and I, and go, oh my God, like I want that life. That looks amazing. And by the way, my life isn't that amazing. It's a bit chaotic, but it's fine. It's really good. We love it. But that's not the only route to market for you to achieve what you want to achieve. And I think we do really overly glamorize being self-employed and having a startup, and isn't it great when 90% fail? And failure doesn't just mean like, it didn't work. Like failure often means, for people in business, bankruptcy, loss of homes, divorces.
It's not just
like,
lost a job,
No, you haven't just lost a job.
You lose big.
And also I think a big part is, and I can say this from experience of my first business went bankrupt, you lose a part of your identity.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you can relate to this, but your identity is so closely tied to your business because it is your baby. Like, whether you care or not, it is your baby.
I was literally having this discussion with a group of friends who run businesses. We've kind of got a bit of a WhatsApp group going on, and there's kind of a big push where we're trying to help each other disconnect our identity to our businesses, because it's not good, you know. No. Really, you need to have that disconnection, because if things don't work out as well, you don't want to take it so personally and be a reflection of you necessarily.